I'm excited about what we're going to talk about.
Yeah, Joni. We're going to talk about Joni.
Yes, we
Joni
are.
evidently does not care who in the world knows what she's eating, because she's posting like all of her meals all over Facebook, which is a good thing because it gives a lot of people ideas on what do you make during COVID-19.
Very inspired. So Joni, I mean, okay, so you're starting on Saturday because you guys eat out on Friday. Is that right?
Yes, we do local takeout on Friday, and Saturday is normally the day that I've been going to the grocery store. So I've been kind of starting my meal plan from Saturday through Friday.
So Saturday night, you're going to have kebabs. The way she has laid this out is so inspiring and yet daunting to me, a person who does not cook well, because you're doing kebabs, potatoes, and hold up, crab stuffed mushrooms.
Yeah, that was a little bit of an add-on when I got to the grocery store, and they had the really pretty large mushroom caps.
And the kids,
they had crabs at the store?
It's in a can.
Crabs in a can?
I've never seen that.
So
it's lump crab meat. It's in the seafood section, and it's really easy.
See, in my mind's eye, I thought a big crab with the claws and everything, and you're stuffing mushrooms into thing.
No, I can't go to the coast to get fresh crabs.
But you are like, your kids eat all of this. This is the issue that I have, Joni. Do you have any picky kids at all?
I have very picky eaters. So I have 3 kids. Micah is a freshman in college. Abby Ruth is a sophomore in high school. And then I have a 6th grader. And all of them at certain times of their lives have been picky eaters. Micah, the older he gets, we like to joke around that college Micah is a much better eater than high school and middle school Micah ever was, and kid Micah. But Ann Rebecca is a super picky eater. And so I have to, so for like the kebabs, for instance, I got her in the kitchen and I kind of cut everything up, and then I gave her the sticks and let her help me assemble it. And so then she feels like, oh, this is something I can do. And, she took all the vegetables off and gave them to someone else, but that was fine because, that's her. But some of the other stuff, sometimes I have to hide vegetables in things. And so we do a lot of, sometimes if it calls for rotel or tomatoes or something, sometimes I will puree it in the blender. And so if my kids don't see it or know it's there, then they tend to not be quite as picky about it. But strategy. But I mean, we try to have something for everybody, and all of my kids don't eat everything. They all have favorites, but we make it work.
Well, that's good. And looking at your menu plan over the next week, you're also sharing this. Will it be okay if we share your menu plan and maybe inspire everybody else?
Sure. That's this week's menu plan. I've already started on next week so that I can kind of get ahead of the game a little bit. Saturday, we're doing a tailgate simulation. So we're just doing like appetizers and different appetizers, prepping for football season that we hope will happen. So we're trying to kind of keep it fun and keep it interesting. We had burgers on the grill 2 Saturday nights in a row, and the kids were like, can we have something other than burgers? So that's where the kebabs came from.
No, hold on. Tailgate party. Are you going to do this like outside at your cars?
Maybe. We have 2 teenagers, so we have 4 cars sitting in the driveway, not using gas or anything right now. So
there you go. Isn't that great? And the gas prices are so cheap right now. We don't even have the opportunity to buy it.
Yeah. And I think Joni is the mom that we all strive to be.
I don't know about that. I'm literally trying to throw something together between Zoom calls at this point.
His morning crew.
I have found somebody on social media who I'm watching a little more these days, being social distance, but I love her. Her name is Tabitha Brown. Tabitha Brown is on TikTok, and she gives out these great recipes, and I think she's vegan. But the recipes, I want to make them. Because she's just, her voice is like a warm blanket when she, and she always starts with something inspirational to say.
You ever woke up, day just didn't get started right, and by the end of the day, you say, Lord, I just want a do-over. Let me show you a trick to how you can get your day back. Baby, you eat breakfast for dinner. That way it seems like the start of a new day.
Right? Like, aren't you hooked already?
I love that. Oh, I got to hear this part again.
Okay.
You eat breakfast for dinner. That way it seems like the start of a new day.
Baby, you eat breakfast for dinner, and it's the start of a new day.
I want to be her best friend. And then she goes into the recipes and it's like, you put a little mustard in there.
Come on.
And then
Come on.
a little this, a little that. And I'm like,
Tabitha
Tabitha.
Brown is her name. Okay.
And on TikTok, it's I am Tabitha Brown.
Okay. Yeah. Because, well, in the words of Tabitha Brown,
Baby, you eat breakfast for dinner.
Mhm.
That way it seems like the start of a new day.
Come on. Now I'm going to eat breakfast all the time and start the day over. Yeah, I like that.
His morning crew.
We need to hear some good news, right?
Yeah, we do. What's a positive for you that's come out of all of this?
For me?
Yeah.
Oh, she's talking to me.
Yeah, specifically.
All the time with the family.
I got to agree with
There's
that.
just so much, and we're doing like activities together, which is so cool. So we did the sidewalk chalk thing,
Yeah.
you know, where you put the tape down, you make this, what do you call it, a mosaic?
Right. Or it almost looks like a stained glass window.
Mm-hmm. So we did some of those. I think we're going to camp one week coming up or one weekend coming up. Maybe we'll get the tent out this weekend. I don't know. Might be chilly, which that's not bad. That'll put us back inside, and I'm fine with that.
Yeah, and you have a little fire. It'd be fun.
More walks. There's a creek that's close by to where we live and that has like trails. And so it's like, oh, we're almost to the park. You know, we're almost, we got a little hike. I mean, it's not that long of a hike, but still, it's at least it's something. My 11-year-old, I've learned, really likes to fish. A little bit too much.
It's never too much, Daddy.
Oh, I'm telling you. So those are some of the positives that we're having.
Yeah, I love this time. We would have normally been on the baseball field, and while I do miss that immensely, and I know the boys do as well, that we have that time that we're eating at the table together, and we're kind of cutting up, and we'll play cards, and we've learned phase 10 and skip-bo and all these. So yeah, that's the positive that I can take out of all of it.
So we're checking in with our open mic, which is a feature on the My His Radio app. If you don't have it, it's free. You can download it, Google Play in the App Store. And here's some people that use the open mic that say, you know what? We found some positives through this whole COVID-19 thing.
Hey, my name is Cassie. One positive thing about this pandemic is that it really makes you appreciate the presence of people more. I've had a lot of friends get laid off recently, and just it makes me realize how much I took them for granted while they were there.
One pandemic positive for me has been that I planted a rose garden, about 9 bushes, and they're blooming, and I get to smell the roses every day.
I see friends and family that normally don't come to church are watching live feeds.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
That's something. You know what? I encourage any church that's doing their live feed now that's never done that before to encourage those that go to your church to invite somebody to church. Like if they do it on Facebook, say do a watch party. Or if it's just a YouTube, share it on your Facebook page or Instagram and get your friends watching along with you that are on your feed, because, you know, they probably won't walk into a church with you, but they might go, let me check out that feed.
Yeah, they're
and
curious.
they'll watch it. Yeah.
About the joy that's in our lives, and they're like, how do I get a little bit of that? But they might have something that's holding them back from gracing the doors of a church. This is a great outreach.
It is, I tell you. Hey, check into the open mic. What about you? What are some of your thoughts about the positives or the good news that you found through this whole pandemic thing?
His morning crew.
By golly, it's time to find some good news from you on our open mic on the My His Radio app, which is free on Google Play and the App Store, because there's got to be some kind of positive that you can find out of this whole social distancing and COVID-19 thing, right?
Yeah, and it's a choice every single day. Am I going to pick out the positive? Am I going to dwell on the negative? And I think, and I've said this before, we need more Tiggers and fewer Eeyores, because we need to bring the positive out of whatever situation that we're in.
Well, here's some Tiggers. His Radio open mic on the My His Radio app.
This is Jessica and
Mason, McKenna.
our pandemic positive would be
Getting to spend time with your family more often.
This is Grayson, and my family's positive is that there's not as much traffic.
Hi, this is Haley Nix, and the thing that I have learned or started doing through the pandemic is to do a daily Bible reading.
And the thing is, when this is all through, to keep up with that, right?
Well, they say that I don't even know the word. I just lost the word, but where you get into a routine. If you do it for 21 days, it then becomes part of your life.
Mm-hmm.
So how long have we been social distanced?
So close to that. I think we've been, 80 days now?
Not that long. But feels like it sometimes.
Doesn't it? Check out the open mic. You can leave your comment there as well. Something good that's happened through COVID-19. The open mic on the My His Radio
Rob
app.
and Liz.
His morning crew.
Looking for some positive stuff. There has to be, right? Through this whole COVID-19 thing.
There absolutely has to. And what I love is that we're hearing from people because we can find the positives in our own life. But when we get depressed, when we have a setback, something's going on, it's nice to hear what others are saying. You know what? This is what happened to me. And it's like, okay, cool.
This is from the open mic on the My His Radio app. Check this out.
This is Joe. Have you heard all the bird calls?
My pandemic positive is being able to spend more time with family.
My wife has learned this is what it takes for me to get projects done around the house.
Girl, yes.
Yeah, you know what my wife's doing? Got me doing projects. That's what that guy said.
It is true. Everybody's yard looks pristine right now.
Hey, listen, and the lady with the birds, she said, have you heard the birds? I'm hearing them every single morning, and I'm like taking notice to God's creation through all of this. It's just really nice. I miss them now because they were chirping earlier.
Yeah, and you had to close the window, but yeah, I open the window sometimes when I'm up in the home studio working, and not only the sounds, but seeing a bluebird or a hummingbird. When I see a hummingbird, like just get tickled. So things that we maybe wouldn't have paid attention to before.
Yeah, checking in with the My His Radio app's open mic. You can leave a comment there as well. Let us know what you're thinking. Some good news of this whole COVID-19 thing. That's the My His Radio open mic at hisradio.com. You can find
Rob
it and download.
and Liz.
His morning crew.
Colonial Steakhouse. This is one of the small businesses, and a lot of restaurants, small business restaurants, have took a huge hit. They're in Pine Bluff, Arkansas, the Colonial Steakhouse. They had to cut their staff, which is a small staff already, of 12 down to 4. That's a huge hit for them. And now they're open like 3 days a week. But here's what happened. There was this customer that tipped the Colonial Steakhouse $1,200, which happened to be that customer's stimulus check.
We just started crying and thanking God because it came at a time that most of our staff really needed that.
Boy, did they need it, because especially the ones that are not able to come back until after all this is done, unless they found like other jobs. And here's what that owner of the restaurant did. She gave all of the employees, all 12 of the employees, $100, because even though it's not working, because they just need a little bit of help. So they didn't keep it for themselves. They gave it to the staff.
And that stimulus check could have been used for anything. I mean, it could have been a selfish purpose. And this person said, you know what? I'm blessed. I still got a job or whatever's good, and gave it back. That's crazy. That's awesome.
Good news happened after COVID-19 and during COVID-19.
His
I'm so
morning
grateful
crew.
for that.
Candace Cameron Bure is leaving some words of wisdom with her children. She's been married 24 years now. Her oldest is 21. I think they have 3 children, but something that they say they've always told their kids is excuses are for losers. She said that one's a little harsh. I get it, but it's something that we grew up with, and we want to instill that in our kids. But something else that Candace says that she and her husband really leave their kids with is words of wisdom from the Matt Maher song.
You know how important my Christian faith is, and it's the foundation of who I am. And I could pick a Bible verse, and there's a billion that I could give you, but when I need to feel and when I need a reminder, this song and the lyrics in it are everything. It's, you know, Lord, I need you. I need you every day, every hour. I need you.
Isn't that great? Like, those are words I think all of us need to hear and need to be reminded of.
That, Lord, I just need you.
Yeah.
Little DJ Tanner giving words of wisdom like that, huh?
Mornings with Rob and Liz.
Quarantine hair. How many people have quarantine hair?
Yeah.
It's horrible. Quarantine hair. How do you even deal with it? I mean, earlier this week, Brandon Heath and Matthew West, artists you hear on his radio, put the throwdown on me with the hashtag haircut challenge. And so my son Spencer cut my hair. We actually have it up on our Facebook page and Instagram.
I have noticed that Matthew West he's not let his kids cut his hair yet. So
Texting him today, man. You know, that's just uncalled for.
you can't lay down a challenge and then not hold up your end of the
Do
deal.
it. I mean, come on.
Right.
I don't care if you're shooting music videos or not. I mean, come on. So quarantine hair is like a thing, right? I mean, Liz is dealing with it, although your hair rocks. You got like awesome hair.
No, this is like I need some frizz intervention or something.
Got you covered.
Okay.
Got you covered completely. There's this company out of New York, their hair salon, and they have a DIY root touch-up kit that you can do on your very own. You touch up your own roots. Oh, no, they Zoom and everything. So they have these virtual appointments, Zoom meetings, so that you can actually Zoom in with them, and they'll help you virtually with your DIY to touch up the roots.
Well, I would have that color all over my forehead. Like, so I'm glad they're going to Zoom. So they don't Zoom haircuts, right? Because that would be
well. They
tragic.
talk about the haircuts, so you could do your own haircut or somebody in the family to do it. A little bit of hairstyling, makeup, the touch up the roots, and even the brow shaping.
Oh, okay, because you need that. But I broke out in a hot sweat when you started talking about coloring or cutting my own hair. No.
You can do it. Hey, they got the DIY kit to touch up the roots. Why not? You know,
there is the ability to do it. I can't do it.
There's ability, and then there's knowing how to do it. Is
exactly.
That okay? I get you here.
His morning crew.
I love finding good news stories, and Drew and Brittany had a good news story that was delivered a little bit early. They got an unexpected gift this week. Their baby was born 6 weeks early, but of course their friends and family, you know, like when we gave birth, our friends and family visited us in the hospital. They weren't able to do that because of COVID-19. And so Drew, the dad, invited friends and family to come outside the hospital. He was going to talk to them through the window and give them the good news that, and they had kept it a secret the whole time, they had a baby boy.
What's his name?
There's one grandma in that group that is just
she's ready. She's been ready to be a grandma.
Well, that's the thing. It's the first grandbaby on either side, and so just the joy. Yeah, I mean, they were probably 20 people outside that hospital watching through the glass. So it was a great night.
What a wonderful thing. You know, there'll be a day that I'm going to be a grandpa. I'm not announcing anything. I don't know.
No, right.
But I kind of feel that, you know, that could be the same kind of reaction. I'm not going to scream as loud.
I will scream louder than when we had Kirk Cameron on the air. I really will.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
Don't have a cow. It's going to be okay. Don't have a cow. Although people in Wisconsin, there's this creamery. They call themselves the Sassy Cow. And they have this refrigerator outside their creamery. Mm-hmm. It's stocked with milk and other dairy products, and it's absolutely free.
It's what?
Free. They call it the kindness cooler, so it's available for anybody who's in need of milk, and they got it fully stocked with all this stuff, and it's going to happen until the end of the pandemic. And so when COVID-19 is over, the thing is behind us, then they're going to go back to normal. But right now, they've got the kindness cooler outside of their creamery, and they're just letting anybody who needs it not take advantage of it, but need to be able to have something.
Wow. It's businesses like that that are being blessed during all of this. Like their business hasn't changed a whole lot as how much money is coming in, and they're giving back to the community. Man, that we're going to remember those things.
Yeah, because of their kindness. I like what they're calling it too, the kindness cooler.
I do. I like that.
Yeah, and instead of milk going spoil or anything like that, they'd rather just make sure that there's people that are going to have a good need of that, which is good. I love that.
His morning crew.
I don't think this would be like big news that it's dangerous to go about 1.5 miles deep into the ocean, find venomous sea snakes, and take their picture. All for science.
Like, I got cold chills. Who's doing that?
They have 7 brave volunteers that actually do this. And Lemon Bay, just off the coast of California, they're all women, which is amazing. Oh, and by the way, all these women, all save brave volunteers, are in their 70s.
Do what?
Call themselves the Fantastic Grandmas. And so far, since 2017, they've taken 262 species snakes, venomous snakes, and it's all so that they can see the undersea ecosystem for science.
Wait, okay. Does one, because I'm trying to wrap my brain around it, does one of the grandmas hold the snake and they take a picture, or they take it?
I don't think there's any posing going on.
I mean, but what? Why?
I know they just want something to do, and they like to scuba dive because you've got to go 1.5 miles into the ocean, and then they find the venomous snakes, snakes, and they take their picture, and then follow the bubbles back up to the to the surface of the ocean.
Look, I went 1.5 feet into my yard yesterday, saw an orange and black millipede, screamed like a little girl, ran back in the house.
A millipede.
Not happening.
Okay. I don't think she's joining the Fantastic Grandmas anytime soon.